All right, in this video, we're going to talk about selection constructs in Go. Selection constructs are things that allow us to choose between alternatives. So in this program here, we have an integer variable grade that we're going to read in from the keyboard. So we're going to ask the user to enter a grade from 0 to 100. This format.scan is going to read from the keyboard, and we're passing it the address of the variable int so that we can change that variable. The int variable grade. We're going to get back two things. We get back the first one, which we're going to ignore, which is the number of things read, and the second one, which is whether or not there was an error. So we say if the error is not null, right? So that would mean that we would get back the error message of some sort. And if there is an error, we're going to say, please enter a valid whole number, and we're just going to exit. So at this point, we can assume that our scan has returned in the variable grade a number of some sort. Then what we're going to do with our next selection, so this selection here tests to see if there's an error. It differs from other programming languages in the C family in that you'll see there are no parentheses. Also, because of the way that Go adds semicolons automatically, this open curly brace must be on the same line. So if we put it down there, you'll see that we get that red squiggle indicating an error. So we do need to keep that on the same line. Here, we're going to see a test. We're going to say if the grade is less than 0 or the grade is bigger than 100, we're going to print that the grade is out of range. Then here we show the if else. So we can say in the case where this does not happen, this is the code that we want to do. Again, because of those semicolon insertion rules, we need to make sure that the else is on the same line as the closing brace, and the opening brace for the else is also on the same line. Here we're going to call getLetterGrade if. We'll pass it that number from 0 to 100. This will allow me to show you an if-else if structure. So we're going to say if the score is at least 90, we return A, which is a rune, right? It's a single character with internationalization. So that could be more than 1 byte. If the score is at least 80, we return B, 70 we return C, 60 we return D, and then otherwise we return F. Again, there are no parentheses around the conditions in Go. So that'll be the first thing that we do. Then we're going to print your letter grade is. We print that letter. And now I'm going to demo the switch statement for letter. So it takes in, we can say switch on the variable letter. So normally in C++, for example, you'd see parentheses around that. We would have the cases. In other C family languages, we automatically fall through. So we would actually have to put a break at the end of these cases. Go does not require a break. It will automatically do a break at the end, and you have to explicitly say if you want to fall through, which is the less common case. So we have the cases, then we can have a default case if it doesn't match any of the above. We can also do switch in place of an if-else if. So here's a different way of implementing this getLetterGrade if. We would do switch without an expression, and we can do arbitrary Boolean expressions here. So we say score is greater or equal 90, score is greater or equal 80, score is greater or equal 70, etc. So go ahead and run this. Now we'll say, right, so your letter grade is A, excellent work. We have to put a number from 0 to 100. And there we go. So again, the big conditional selection constructs that we have in Go, we have the if with the else, the if with the else ifs, and an else optionally. We can have switch without an expression, and we can have switch on a variable.